When I was 17 years old, I wanted to make my first money online. I wanted to learn piano and wanted to build a great physique. And what really got me there was quitting social media. However, advice like just stop scrolling or it's just willpower didn't help me at all. As cliche as it sounds, what really matters are the small steps. So about 3 years ago, when I still was scrolling pretty much and just using social media normally, it really held me back a lot. So I wasn't motivated to do anything. Really, the small stuff was really hard. So when I tried to do a few push-ups, not really the physical hardness, but just getting up, doing it, getting the motivation to do it, that was really, really hard. And I think social media played a big role in that because it really fucked up my dopamine. Of course, when I'm scrolling a lot, my dopamine baseline, so the base motivation when you're doing nothing, is pretty low. So really these really small steps were really hard. So also like making my bed, really these really small steps felt extremely hard, and that's how it held me back and is holding back really many people. And another point, for example, when school was over, I was walking down to the bus station, and then when I was in the bus, just whipped out my phone, and yeah, maybe it wasn't even social media, but I used my phone, put in music and so on, and many people think, yeah, okay, what's wrong with that? And I also think you can do that sometimes, but I really used it to numb my thoughts, and I think really many people use it the same way so that you don't get bored, and all these thoughts that would come up if you would just not be stimulated for a few minutes or an hour or something don't come up, and that really takes the intention away from your life, and it makes it harder to live your life with a real direction where you want to go. And the third point for me was attention. Of course, you heard it a lot probably. Like humans have a lower attention span than goldfish, is like this famous study, or what you probably already heard. And yeah, that's also another handicap, I would say, because even if you get up the motivation to do maybe, yeah, push-ups is not the best example, but if you're in school or are studying, if you get the motivation up to really study, if you get yourself up from the couch, then that's already hard. But then studying and having the attention on one thing for more than 8 seconds or really half an hour, that gets really, really hard. So it's really a downwards spiral, I would say. So and it's pretty hard to get out of it, because let's be real, most people today are addicted to their phones. So for me, 3 years ago, it was like that, and I think probably most people are really addicted to their phones, and of course then it's really hard to get out of that. But I can really tell you that it's worth it, because when I stopped, I really got the motivation back to just do something, to learn stuff. So I learned like these like these small skills, like juggling or solving a Rubik's cube, like this random stuff, but also like playing the piano, so learn an instrument, and also just going to the gym consistently, which is also something which is hard at the beginning, because of course it takes a bit of willpower to go there, even if when you don't really want to go there. And yeah, scrolling makes it even harder to do this, but if you're really just not on social media or have decreased your screen time, all this stuff gets easier. So really using social media really much, how most people are doing it, is just just a handicap for them. It's really, if you don't have the comparison between not between using social media and not using social media, you won't understand how big the difference is really. Because, like I said, stuff like making my bed or doing a few push-ups or learning something for school or all this stuff really felt hard, and probably you know it too if you're on the couch scrolling and then or watching YouTube even, something like that, and it's hard to get up. All this stuff becomes so much easier, and it's just this relief, like you're carrying a big weight around, and then when you delete social media, you're just, you are free. You can you can really move and don't have this huge weight on your shoulders. It's really something. It really has a huge impact, I would say. At least it had a big impact on my life, and all the people I know who quit social media are also saying it's only positive. Nobody says quitting social media destroyed their life or made it really worse in a big way. So I hope you understand why quitting social media is so helpful, and I also think probably most people already know that social media isn't really that good for them, but I hope we really understood it now. Imagine yourself when you stop scrolling. All this hard stuff, like, I don't know what your challenges are, but maybe you think, okay, I see all those people on social media having a great physique and so on, and going after their goals and reaching them, but you probably also want to get there, but are not really taking the steps. If that's your situation, imagine yourself just deleting social media, and then really all this stuff that felt so hard becomes so much easier because you don't have the alternative, the easy way to just scroll and scroll and scroll. When you don't have that, you have to do something. I mean, you can't just sit around the whole day. Of course you could, but if you don't have stimulation, that's doesn't feel good, really feels bad. So you just do the stuff that is needed. Of course, probably if you're really in the beginning, you don't exactly know how you want to get there, or maybe don't even know what you want to reach exactly. But if you don't have this stimulation all the time, you also start to get bored, and then start to think about your life and get ideas where you really want to go. And then the path becomes clearer, and you take the first steps. And maybe if the physique is your goal, I don't know what your goal is, but I know that quitting social media makes it easier to reach. So that's really something. Many people say, you have to get a great physique, you have to get rich, have to make money online. But I don't know what you really want to reach, but quitting social media is really this thing that helps pretty much everyone. It's not like this stuff when someone says, just go to the gym. Of course, for many people that's nice, but many people also just want to maybe do another sport. But quitting social media is really this thing that would help everyone. And especially you, if you watch this type of content, I think you really would benefit from it. But how to quit social media? So many people just say, just delete the apps, just delete TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, just delete it now, and then it's fine. But really, for me, it didn't work that way. So for me, it was more of these really small steps. And maybe also, if you have seen videos about decreasing your screen time and so on, you got all those tips, like turning off all notifications, turning on this black and white filter, buying a device so that you can just use social media when you go there. so like this brick device or something. Of course the information is out there, but if you have seen those videos and see this video, you probably haven't done all this stuff. So I just want you to do this one action. Of course it's a bit of a basic advice, but really this turning off notifications, especially for your social media apps. So if you have games on your phone, those have to go, or at least the notifications. But the games, you would also profit from deleting them. But really the notifications, turning them off is, I mean, it's this one-time action. You just go on your phone, you just go on your phone, go into the settings, turn them off, and then it's done, and your screen time goes down. You have more motivation for your goals, and your life becomes easier. So it's really a no-brainer. Of course it's basic advice, but if you haven't done it already, that's really the first step. Because like I said, for me it wasn't just deleting it straight away. It was just taking these small actions. So this is like this first small action you can take that has a big impact. And if you haven't done it already, just do it. And do it not after the next video or the next 2 videos or something. Really just tap pause right now, go into the settings and turn them off. So I really want you to take something out from this video, because of course it's nice to have all this information, knowing, okay, social media is holding me back in these ways, and but if you don't do anything about it, that doesn't really help, you know. So if you still haven't turned off your notifications, I don't know what will get you there, but if you have, really nice, step in the right direction, and it will make your life easier. And another way how you can quit social media really in a I would say in a fast way, but without just relying on willpower, just deleting it and having the risk to relapse, is a course that I have in the description. So I just put the stuff in that worked for me and that will work for you, and in a plan that's decreasing your screen time over time, step by step, and not just deleting it right now and relapsing after a week. So it's really a step-by-step program which gets you there in a sustainable way, so that you really stop using social media or have your screen time at like 10 minutes or something, or 15 minutes for these apps, and then having the motivation to actually do stuff, work on your goals, learning new skills, and so on. So if you're interested, just tap on the link in the description, and if not, just take this first step of turning off your notifications, because that's really one of the most important steps, because it's the first one and it gets you on the right trajectory. So I hope the video helped you. I hope you turned off those notifications, because if not, then this video probably didn't help that much. But so I hope the video helped you, and I hope you turned off your notifications, because if not, then this video would be useless for you. Like I said, of course it's nice to have all this information, but it's not really changing something if you don't take these small actions. And like I said, they don't have to be big. Like turning off those notifications, not a big action, takes 2 minutes. But these small actions are the ones that get you to the goal long term. So I wish you a nice day. Bye.